good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 7, Episode 18. The DJI Mini 4K is here. How is everyone doing tonight? We have a house full already, which is awesome. Bill is here. Drone Shots is here. Akarasho, Steve Genesis, Vermont Views. Let's see who else we got. John Olson, Drone Views Media. Waypoint New England, Lauren is here. Welcome, Lauren. Drone Life RC, welcome. Captain Ray is here. Followed you on your way back, Captain Ray. Good to see that you're back up north. John Flynn is here. Flying Flynn Media. See who else we got. Drone Views, Lauren. Who else we got? Dr. Ted. Welcome, Dr. Ted. All right. Got a full house. We're gonna. If you caught me Monday, I was on with the Jedi Masters themselves, Ron and Marcus, and Lauren joined us and had a great time talking about the Mini 4K. We're going to be talking about that at length near the end of the show. Got quite a bit of things to get caught up on. First of all, I want to wish Captain Ray Kelly. He had safe travels. Very thankful you made it back up to Long Island. That's great. Glad you're safe up there. First thing I kind of want to lead in with, and I don't have, I was going to have a banner for it, but I need to bring it up. What did I do with it? Okay, here we go. All right. And I know our good friend Bob Dempsey is on his way to Japan, I believe. I don't know where he's going in Japan, but anyway, Bob, if you're watching, I wanted to go ahead and put a little plug in for the first annual Vegas Drone Meetup 2014. I think the dates are there November. Bob has a registration form, and it is out. There is a post out on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group. I believe it's November 8th, 9th. I think I'm not 100% sure, but you guys are welcome to check that out. He's asking for some information, which is great. So if you're interested, please go out here and send that information to Bob. I'm sure he would greatly appreciate it. If you can possibly try to make it out there, I'm sure Bob would love it, and he'll organize a great event. I know him. He has he's incredibly enthusiastic about our hobby, and he'll do a great job on this. I'm very sure of. I'm sure that quite a few of you will be able to get out there. Unfortunately, I won't be able to, because that's like right around Christmas time for us, and possible travel. So that won't work for us. But if you guys can go ahead and get out there and make that, please do so. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can find the post here out on Bill Journer Facebook group, so you know what it's like. Yeah, Bob posted it out here. So let me go ahead and show that to you, so you know what it's like. Okay, yeah, there it is. November 8th, 9th, and 10th. This is the post that Bob put out there. He did that 3 days ago, but it's not too far down in the group. So if you guys want to get some more information, check that out. I'm sure he's probably going to be checking things even though he's out of town. So fill out that information. If you're interested in going, let Bob know. I'm sure he would appreciate it. Again, it's November 8th, 9th, and 10th. It's going to be out in Vegas, and of course, you can't actually fly in Las Vegas. It's pretty much a no-fly zone, but outside the city, probably about 5 miles or so, there's some incredible desert scenery out there. I know I've seen that before. I've seen Dobo fly out there. I've seen Billy fly out there before. Great stuff. So if you guys can go, please do go ahead and check that out. Okay. All right. Wanted to get that in there here. Okay. Let's see who else we got joining us. U.S. Drone Flyer, Captain Joe America, Bill Thomas. Welcome, Bill. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. First thing, okay, I want to bring my little banner thing up here. Specta Air and Mini update. Okay. I do have my video is ready to rock and roll here for the Specta Mini. I've completed unboxing, setup, and first flight. It's a great video. I really had no No errors from Specta at all. Only operator error here. So yeah, I did a fat finger, and I'll let you guys see that in the video. I'm waiting on permission from them to go ahead and release the video. They told me this will be in early May, so I think it's going to be I thought it was going to be in conjunction with the Mini 4K, but that didn't come to fruition. I thought yesterday I was on the lookout for an email from them, but from my contacts from them, but no, I didn't get one. So I'm waiting on pins and needles for that. All right, and for what kind of pricing that they have. I went ahead and sent them an email today, and I asked them about that. I also asked them about, because they told me in May, hopefully early May, they're going to have a link out there in their website. They're going to have additional items for sale. They're going to have the batteries for the Specta Air. They're going to have propellers available for the Specta Air. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think that the chargers that we currently have will work with that. I think Jack had told me something about that, although, the batteries are not compatible, but I think the chargers will work with the batteries, and I think the props will probably work with the batteries too. So stay tuned for that. I should be getting some more information. And I also asked them too, because I know a lot of you have asked me, and I really don't know the answer to this question, is getting the Specta Air and the Specta Mini service. How, who would handle that? Who would we contact? So I forwarded that information to them as well too. I'm imagining probably a DJI repair facility would be able to handle that, but I don't know. So I asked them, and I also asked them specifically about warranty information. If something happens under warranty, what do we do? Where do we go? Who do we talk to? So Art's in the house. Welcome, Art. Good to see you tonight. So that's it. That's it for the Specta Air and Specta Mini. As soon as I get permission, it's going to go out there and go live. I know there was another gentleman who released his video. I was in touch with him. He said they told him to go ahead and release it on that date. So, but like I said, I haven't heard from them. So, as soon as I hear from them, it will be out there. And as soon as I get answers to these questions, I'm going to post it on the Specta Air group, and I'll also post it on Build a Drone Reviewer. So stay tuned for that. Also, tonight, I wanted to let you know, I went out there today and posted all the information I normally post on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group. It's out on the Facebook page as well, because I know some of you just go to the page and use that, which you're more than welcome to. I'm starting to make sure that I get that updated as well, because every time, if you have a page, if you know that, whenever you go into page mode, it takes you out of your normal Facebook account. So yeah, so what I do is I try to line stuff up and try to get it out there, because there's really a lot of these sites that I work from, that I post articles from, there's no direct post link to Facebook anymore. That evidently there's something with, I don't know, but that's not working anymore. But hey, that's the name of the game for that. I wanted to let you guys know all about that. So we wanted to get that handled up for the Specta Air and Specta Mini. All right. There's new firmware for the DJI Power 1000 super fast portable charger. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that. I thought this was important because I think it's a great solution. If you are, if you're like me, I'm always looking for good portable power sources. We took care of things in a big way for our house when we got our Generac generator that runs on natural gas for hurricane purposes. But I'm also looking to try to get something maybe along these lines. Especially, this will especially work if you're out in the field. This is something that is real good. But anyway, let's go ahead and get in there, because I want to go ahead and go over this here. All right, new firmware for DJI Power 1000 super fast portable charger. With an inaugural discount price of $699 with coupon, it has a capacity of 1,024 watt hours and weighs 13 kilograms. 2,200 watt unit can be fully charged in just 70 minutes, or if you're in a rush to get out, charged to 80% in just 50 minutes. So that's a pretty good deal. With the help of separately sold charging cables, DJI drone users can fast charge select drone batteries with DJI Power SDC super fast charge function and be up in the air with approximately 30 minutes from 10% to 95%. That's incredible. Okay. The new firmware release for the Power 1000 improves compatibility with certain power grids and also enhances stability when using SDC output to charge the batteries. Further, it fixes an issue where solar recharging is occasionally unavailable, along with fixing some other minor bugs. And I think for me, solar is important for any type of a portable power solution that I'm looking towards. I'm also looking for something that's going to help me along ham radio lines as well too. And I think this might fit the bill. I'm going to do some more checking on that. But it does talk about you can update the Power 1000 portable charger using DJI Assistant 2 Power Series. In case the update fails, follow the following steps for troubleshooting. So, okay. So that's that for that. You know, again, you definitely want to check that out if you're looking for some kind of a power solution. You know, it's going to work with drone batteries, you know, and your other DJI electronic devices that have batteries. So that's definitely something I think you probably want to consider and take a look at that. This was interesting. The DJI Mic 2 can now connect to Sony cameras, and I thought I'd want to go ahead and spend a minute on this. Let me see if I can find that article here. Okay, yeah. All right, got it. All right. All right, DJI Mic 2 can now connect to Sony cameras. DJI Mic 2 firmware version you're looking for is 4.4.0513. In addition to enabling Sony camera compatibility, the software package bumps the following features: optimizes receiver pop-up interaction. The pop-up window automatically closes after 3 seconds of no response. Optimizes logic of splitting files recorded to transmitter. When recording 32-bit float audio, the files automatically split and stored every 30 minutes. Fix some known issues, okay? So, and now DJI explains its new Mic 2 camera adapter accessory can connect the Mic 2 receiver to a Sony camera's MI shoe. This enables sound recording without the need for a 3.5 millimeter TRS cable, and also supports digital audio recording. A Sony camera can even supply power to the DJI Mic 2 receiver through the new adapter. So that's a pretty incredible revelation that's just come out. So I know a lot of people use Sony cameras, and that's going to greatly enhance your audio with that. I vacillate. I go between both. I still have DJI Mic, and the Mic 2 part came when I got the Pocket 3, and I use that quite a bit. This is something, if you have a Sony camera, this is invaluable. I think that's great, and I think you guys would really enjoy that. All right. And Leonard Oglesby is here. Welcome, Leonard. And Zubar Siam is here. Welcome. Good to see you guys tonight. All right. 88 today. 88 here. And I saw one of my friends up in Pittsburgh. Her son-in-law is a Major League Baseball umpire, and her and her husband went to the game, dressed on layers and stuff, and I'm like, I commented, I'm like, really? I said, I won't tell you it's in the mid 80s down here, okay? I won't tell you that. So, yeah, it's and we're starting to get, also know that the great weather is coming, or the very warm weather is coming. We're starting to get bugs on the windshields. So yeah, so it's on its way. That's all I gotta say there. It's on its way. So now this is interesting, and it's kind of a little bit telling here. DJI stopped support for drone flying app on iOS 12. We'll go ahead and take a look at that, and I want to talk about this here for a minute. Let's go ahead. Here we go. Okay. Okay. DJI stopped support for drone flying app on iOS 12. Here's how the change may impact you. DJI will no longer release app updates or fixes for the DJI Fly app on iOS 12 and earlier operating systems. DJI Fly v1.13.4 and future versions will not be compatible with iOS 12 and earlier operating systems. Okay. And I think a lot of and here's Ron. Hey, sir.
Hello, Will. How are you tonight?
Good. Look, got some news for Apple users here.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's really kind of interesting. And I wanted to get your take on it. I'm glad you joined me. I wanted to get your take on this because it's really telling because we get the controllers now with the built-in screens, and I think they're gonna eventually phase out just the standard controllers that use smartphones. I really do.
Possibly, but I don't think this really plays that too much. I mean, I think we're on iOS 16 now. I think iOS 17 is coming. It'll be announced at WDC in early June. I can't get those letters out, but I mean, the only people running 12 would be, you'd have to have your phone would have to be so old.
Yeah,
it probably couldn't fly the drone anyways if your phone could only run 12.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because it's not really kind of funny. Their timing on this, I think it's good. And I think for them, I think they're being smart about this because it ends up saving them money because they have to commit a staff of people to do these updates to these operating systems on the smartphones. Okay, and it's they're gonna announce something for Android as well too. I'm sure of that because there's a lot of effort in writing code for both of these operating systems on the phones, and for them to dedicate resources to do that, that's a lot of effort. All right,
but it still must be a cost-effective way that they can't come out with the control with the screen for every drone, even the budget drones at this point. So it must not be cost-effective yet. But I agree, Bill. That's the way we're heading. As soon as they can figure out how to make an affordable control with the screen, even for the budget drones.
Yeah, and that you just hit the nail on the head, Ron, making it affordable. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking for because, with the price point, and we'll talk about the Mini 4K here in a little bit, with that $199 price point, which is awesome. Okay. I got a lot of comments, is it going to have that built-in controller or built-in screen? I said, no. And everybody's like, well, why not? And I'm like, well, it's the price leader. Okay. It's your lowest priced entry level DJI drone, and it has 4K. And
by what I understand, Bill, it will not be compatible, or it's not compatible with any of the DJI RC controllers, and it may never be compatible with anything.
It's exactly what. Yeah. Well, it has OcuSync 2, I think. Is that
right?
Yeah. So it's not going to be compatible. I mean, what? I think you would have to go back to the original DJI RC that came out for the Mavic 2.
The RC Pro,
that operated OcuSync 2. Okay, because I remember the big deal for me was I got to beta test. They made it compatible with the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0. Mm-hmm. I got to beta test that, which was interesting. But yeah, this is a direction we're headed, and it's and I think once DJI finally gets there, I think you might even see. I'm going to say a little bit of a lowering in terms of a price on some of these entry level drones. Well, I won't say lowering. I'm going to say it's going to be reasonable for these entry level drones for what they're going to charge for a controller with a screen. I don't think it's going to be very outlandish to do that. Of course, it's your choice. If you want to operate a smartphone and have to hook up cables and everything, go for it. It's all yours. There he is.
Cables, smartphone.
So Mini 4K did show up today?
I would like to make a special presentation right now, if I can, Bill, with regard to the Mini 4K.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we're all familiar with the Mini 4K, the introduction yesterday, and I got one. Amazon delivered it same day. However,
did you hear that, Bill? Same day now.
Wow.
I ordered it in the morning and had it by the evening. Now, one of the things that I always do with the DJI special edition drones, and I consider the Mini 4K a special edition drone, I always name it after my friends. You remember the Johnny Mini SE?
Oh, yeah.
And you remember the DeMarco Mini 2 SE?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the Ron Mini 4K.
The Ron 4K. The Ron 4K. I like that.
Yeah, they're on.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Right there.
There, yeah.
Right there it is.
Yeah. I just think
seen this
I
first
think
here,
Ron
folks.
4K is the coolest name.
Yeah.
You
There
have
it is.
seen
Thank
it
you.
here first.
Thank
Wow. That is awesome. So here's we're going to talk about it in depth here in a minute, but did you get out to play it yet?
Well, I'll tell you, I probably could have. I did an introduction video in my studio, which actually kind of doubles as my kitchen. However, it's windy today, and I got the batteries charged, and I could have, but I thought, it's not ideal, and I want to do it in a more ideal situation.
Yeah,
I have some ideas of where I want to do the first flight. So
that reminds me of my first flight of DJI Mini 1. I got it, I don't know, sometime in the afternoon, got a battery charge, ran down the beach. It was blowing so hard, the thing probably couldn't do more than about 3 miles per hour in the wind. And believe me, it didn't go high, it didn't go far, because I knew right away this thing was going to struggle in the wind.
Yeah. So Ron, when I was doing my introduction video, I got out all my other minis that were this same shell, right?
Okay.
The same form factor. And I put them all in a row, and I kind of went through them one at a time. And that's the first thing I thought of with the original Mavic Mini is, boy, that thing was not so hot in the wind.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. We're going to talk about a couple other things, and then we're going to get back to it because I want to devote some time to the Mini 4K.
We were just talking about the controller, Marcus. Well, we can talk about that Apple's not going to support the Fly app on older version, 12 or older, but the phones that were capped at that thing probably couldn't have really flew the thing good anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. Their processors are probably it's technology just changes.
And then we speculated that maybe they'll go all controllers with screens. I said as long as they can get that price to build those down to where they can include them with their budget drones, that's the problem.
Ron, I think that's coming. I totally agree with you. We've talked about that before. It just makes so much sense. For one thing, it gives them a lot more control over their product, their app, etc. So
Bill, if you're part of the Apple iOS development team over at DJI, you may want to sharpen up your resume.
Well, we're going to touch real briefly on this, and I know there was some hubbub about one reviewer. I saw that today.
More than one.
More than one. Yeah.
More than one. It's
a new one every day, Bill.
Here. I just want to touch on this real briefly because I talked about compatibility for the Mic 2 with Sony cameras. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
Yeah. And that's not really that. That's not really that new of a news. That was out like more than a week ago. I think it just arrived that you can actually do it now, but they talked about it being compatible with Sony cameras like about a week ago or more.
Yeah, this one right here. Okay, the article came out yesterday here on Drone DJ, and it talked about the Insta360 Ace Pro camera now compatible with DJI Mic, which is great. Enhanced
Mic 1 and 2, Bill.
Yeah, audio and DJI Mic compatibility with DJI Mic and DJI Mic 2 wireless microphones. Okay, so that's improved underwater capture, which is good. They must have done some things here, and some other enhancements here as well. So I don't
seem to be compatible with the Apple AirPods too. Most of them, anyways.
General bug fixes. Yeah, they did a firmware update for this too. So you guys are more than welcome to check this out.
Hey, Bill. I didn't know if you're going to go into the controversy surrounding Insta with Farouk over at iPhone Do.
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about that for a little bit. I mean,
before you go all the way in that, Marcus, I would just like to add that now with this, DJI Mic compatibility with the Ace Pro, now that brings it on the same level as the DJI Action 4, which can do that, and it kind of leaves GoPro as in the rear as far as audio.
And Ron, I need to order that mic too, don't I? I need to do it.
Yeah, whether the camera is one or whatever, you need to do it.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Marcus.
We'll go right into the controversial story. I want to get that in first because once we start talking about this mess, we'll never get back to it again.
Well, I don't know that it deserves all that much press, but we do have to kind of talk about it. But what was interesting, I thought today was I don't know if you guys saw Insta360's response.
No, I didn't.
I did see it, but
Yeah.
it didn't make much sense to me though.
It's a little bit like they said they're taking his remarks under consideration and they're discussing it with their team.
Him, you mean iPhone NATO?
Is that how you pronounce it? I always call it iPhone Doe, but
well, yeah, but that's him that they're referencing.
Farouk,
Him
yeah,
is,
Farouk,
okay, him,
yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, Jevon Dovey also had the same issue, but evidently we should probably back up and explain what was going on.
In the beginning,
yeah, they were asking their content creators to not mention at all that they were sponsored by Insta. They didn't want people to know that, Insta was giving them those products and I'm quite sure probably paying them to do those reviews, which is weird. For one thing, legally, you have to disclose that.
Right.
But Insta, what I also thought was just interesting was Insta now says, well, they're reevaluating their policy. But the one thing they said, and Ron, I thought this was interesting, they also mentioned that Farouk, they valued that relationship because he had helped them really, his criticisms had helped them improve their products over the years.
That's iPhone's real name, Farouk.
Yeah. Farouk is
okay.
iPhone Doe. Yeah.
iPhone Doe, yeah.
I wasn't sure about all these pieces. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ron. I should have explained that. Yeah.
No, you did good. You did very good, Marcus. And and I think for both of you and for me, okay. For example, all right. I mean, I have gotten scads of things, and I'm going to say probably one of the better things I've gotten recently was from Specta. I got the Specta Mini to do my review, and it's sitting in there ready to go. Okay, and not one company who has ever given me anything has asked me not to mention them ever. Okay, in everything that I reviewed, from the Lycus cases to any kind of accessory to the Specta Mini, nobody has asked me to say, well, no, you can't say that we gave this to you, kind of a thing, because really above and beyond everything else, you can't. It's illegal. You can't do that. Okay. Because if you're given something, really, in essence, even if you're not paid, if you're given something, that's compensation. Okay. Because I know a lot of times, a lot of these companies, what they want to do, and I won't work with these kind of companies, they'll say, oh, go ahead. And it's happened with RC cars when I was looking and getting into starting to do some RC car reviews. They want you to go ahead out there and buy it. And then once you do the review, they'll reimburse you for it. And I said, no, that's not how this works. Okay. You send the product to me, I'll review it. Okay. That's how it works. Otherwise,
you and I went through that with the same company, didn't we, Bill?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And a lot of them want you to purchase on Amazon so you can leave an Amazon review.
Yeah.
A lot of them are more interested in you giving them an Amazon review than you reviewing on YouTube.
Like, I'm going to jeopardize my Amazon account over some freaking, $79 RC car or something. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. I agree 100% on that. So one more thing that we're gonna get into here is best mini camera drone to buy in 2024. I know we kind of touched on it last week, but we're gonna take another real quick look at this before we take a dive into the main subject for tonight. So, all right, best mini camera drone to buy in 20. Mini 2 SE, 279. Mini 3, 549.
And Bill, before you scroll by that, you can actually get the Mini 3 with the standard controller for $419. So that's a heck of a buy if you opt for the standard controller and get it for $419.
Yes, that would be an incredible buy. The Mini 4 Pro for $959. And do I need to register a mini drone? Okay. I just wanted to touch base with this here before we get to the meat of the article here. And
that article didn't mention the Fimi Mini 3, did it?
No, it did not. It did not mention the Fimi Mini 3.
Which I got a note today. Richard's Fimi Mini 3 is shipped.
Yes.
The new Holy Stone HS900. It didn't mention that either.
No.
Okay, now let me see. Okay. All right. I did go ahead. All right. Obviously, we're talking about the Mini 4K right now. I did find something that lists the specs for the Mini 4K.
Okay.
Takeoff weight 249 grams, maximum flight time 31 minutes, maximum range 6.2 miles, gimbal stabilization 3-axis. Okay. Camera sensor 1/2 inch CMOS 12 megapixels. Still image size unspecified. Still photography modes unspecified. Video resolution up to 4K 3840 x 2160 at 30 frames per second. Drone, helix, rocket, circle, boomerang, or panorama. The quick shot modes. So
one thing that I think is that is not shown in those specs that I think is important is that this little drone will shoot in 2.7K 60 frames per second. So I think there are situations that you would probably want to use that over 4K in certain situations. What I can't remember, guys, and maybe you can help me out here. Did the original Mini 2, was it able to shoot in 2.7K 60 frames per second?
Yes.
It was?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, Ron's right. Yeah, I agree.
Remember.
Because I think even the original Mini 1 shot, 2.730 and 1080p 60.
Yeah, so I couldn't remember that on the Mini 2. If it did
So
1080,
it got bumped up on the Mini 2.
Yeah.
I guess you could do 1080p and 60 also, as well as 2.7 on that.
I think that's important because I think there's some situations where you like that higher frame rate if you're doing a lot of movement.
Some people like 60 frames. That's the only thing a lot of people shoot
Yeah.
is 60 frames per second. So
Yeah,
and that's why the Phoebe Mini 3 has a leg up with the 4K 60.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm skeptical. No, I don't mean that in a me. I'm just skeptical because I've seen what I've seen with FEMI drones in the past, and I'm just going by my past experience. I don't have the FEMI Mini 3. I haven't seen anything about it. However, they often don't put a powerful enough processor to be able to handle those kind of frame rates. And in fact, even the Mini 3 Pro, the DJI Mini 3 Pro, when you were shooting in 4K 60, it disabled some other things on the drone because it didn't have the processing power to do it. So I'm just skeptical that FEMI is going to pull that off. We'll see.
And that been quite common until the last year or two that when you did go to 4K 60, you lost a lot of ability to do other things in many drones, including some DJI drones. But I'm glad the current generation has kind of solved that. The Mini 4, DJI Air 3.
Yeah, the Mini 4 Pro, the 4K Mini 60 frames per second is flawless.
You can do everything in it, yeah.
Yeah, Ron, I mentioned this yesterday, but I want to mention it again. The Mini 3 standard, when you're shooting in 4K with even that drone, you'll see a certain amount of frame dropping. And that tells you that it can't write to that SD card fast enough, and that takes processing power.
Yeah.
The chipset and processing power.
Yeah. I'll stick by what I always said. If you're not 100% sure you need 60 frames per second, don't shoot it. Especially if you're in a budget drone.
Yeah. To your point, with the Mini 3 Pro, even I never used it for that very reason. I was just shot in 30 frames per second because everything worked better.
Yeah,
you did. I want to go ahead and go over this because try to get this point out here. All right. Mini 4K is now available by an incredible price of $299. And we covered, God, I'm thinking yesterday was Monday. Okay. We covered yesterday, obviously, it's not out on DJI site. It is out on Amazon site. That's the main place that you can purchase this. It will be out eventually at Best Buy. I haven't double checked Adorama or B&H. They're currently closed for Passover right now. And to make some points here, essentially, new DJI drone is a beefed up version of the Mini 2 SE. Okay. The new DJI Mini 4K further supports video bit rates of up 100 megabits per second. Okay. and essentially, a new DJI drone is a beefed up version of Mini 2 SE. With Mini 4K, highly attractive for those to be everything a beginner pilot needs. One tap takeoff and landing, GPS guided return to home, 4K Ultra HD video camera, and 3-axis gimbal for cinematic quality shooting. Plenty of pre-programmed flight modes and a long battery life of up to 31 minutes, all under $300. Okay. In addition, the compact and lightweight drone does not even require registration with the FAA or compliance with the agency's remote ID rule if flown for only recreational purposes. You get wind resistance of up to 38 kilometers per hour, level 5 with brushless motors that allow takeoffs at altitudes of up to 4,000 meters, and the transmission distance of up to 10 kilometers, 32,800 feet, lets you explore vast landscape with ease. Okay. One of the things that I want to touch on, and I had dropped out a video short announcing this for Monday, and people just jumped all over this, in terms of, and we talked about it Monday during the launch party, is that people are like, okay, you know what? All we have to do is do a firmware update, and we have it here. And I'm like, okay, you need to stop the presses here with all this, okay? Because people just started going silly, and I had to delete a bunch of comments out there because they're insisting that we can do it. And I said, you know what? Okay, here's the deal. Okay, they had to put a new chipset in. Okay, this wasn't optional because you can get we talked about this. Yeah, you go ahead and get that 4K, but you're not going to have a processor that's going to support that. All right, and when you don't have a processor that's going to support it, you're going to get really not so good video. All right, number one. And number two, okay, in order to be compliant with the FCC, it needed a new chipset to be able to do that because it's part of the communication protocol with the FCC. That's just the way things are. That's just the way it is. Okay, and what I put out there, and I think you guys would agree with me, is this. Okay, the bottom line is this: DJI has given us a 4K mini drone with the features that we just described. Okay, all these incredible features at a price of $299. Okay, seriously,
it's insane. I know it.
Yeah.
I know that there's always a lot of pushback, or I guess hate's too strong word, but pushback when DJI releases these SE type drones. There's always rough comments, and people just kind of get mean about these SE style drones from DJI.
Yeah, and there's no reason for this, okay? Because and these are the kind of people that think for $299 it should have the controller should have a built-in screen, and I'm like, okay, you need level set here, okay? You need to understand something, all right? You have to give up something in order. You're getting the entry level for a well-known drone manufacturer, probably the best drone known manufacturer out there. Okay, you can't have everything. Okay, you have to give up something, and you give up that screen on the controller. Okay,
and let's face it, this is a fairly sophisticated controller, and it's no longer just the RC N1. I doubt you're going to be able to see it, but it says RC N1 RC N1C on there.
Okay,
so they changed. It's just a different model number than what we saw, and who knows if that's just
physically it looks exactly the same, Marcus.
Physically, it looks identical, right?
Yeah.
Well,
somebody had mentioned that it's downgraded in some way, like it holds less battery charge, or is mildly downgraded by the internet. Somebody said that in a video. I don't know. There's no backup on any of this because, again, DJI won't release the full specs of this at this point.
Yeah. And the other thing that I saw was, okay, well, you know what? They need to release the SDK for the Mini 2 SE so we can go in there. And I'm like, you know what, guys? All right, you know what?
But let me handle this. You're referring to a gentleman that was in the live launch party yesterday, and his first question was about the SDK kit because he wanted to run all the mapping applications on this drone and do mapping. And if he can do all that, that's great for him, whatever. But DJI did not design his drone as a mapping drone. This is an entry-level drone. They didn't design it with SDKs and mapping applications and somebody doing enterprise drone missions with it. It would be like Marcus, somebody going into the Chevy dealership and buying a minivan to race in a Formula One race. Modify it to, to put it in a Formula One race.
Listen, the closest I can say that you would ever get to a commercial use with this drone is if just as a spare drone at a real estate shoot or something like that.
And you can't even do that because you'd have to put remote ID on it.
You'd have to have a remote ID module, but it would be possible.
Yeah.
Well, for us, and we did talk about this yesterday, okay? And for, I'm going to say, a majority of our audience out there, okay? This drone is not for us, okay? This drone is for the true beginner, okay? The one who wants to look into getting into drones, but
it's the Ron. It's the
Ron Mini 4K. Let me put it to you this way, okay? This is for the beginner who is educated enough not to go out there and jump on and hold your ears, Marcus, on the Holy Stone or the Potenzix, okay? I'm sorry, I told you to hold your ears, but they've done some research, okay, and they're educated enough to know that they want something that when it's going to do all of what we just said it's going to do, and do it every single time that we go out there, okay, without fail, okay, and not toilet bowl or flip around or lose connection or crooked horizons or not returning to home or just a whole host of things.
Micro shakes in the video. That and Bill, what you just said there, you just said a mouthful. What all of those other drones, I haven't seen a single what I'll call a second tier product, whether it's Femi, Hubsan, Holy Stone, Potenzix, they all have some kind of an issue or another. They're getting better. There's no question they're getting better. But the deal about this thing for $299 is you're going to buy it and it's going to be flawless. You're going to go out there and do the job.
Yeah, I told Marcus I don't need to buy it and review it because I know that this drone is going to work perfectly. It's going to do everything it should do for the price. It's going to be a flawless drone. I'm not saying there's nobody's going to, not one person is going to get 11, but for most people, it's going to. That's the key, Marcus. Almost everybody's going to get one that works good out of the box. It won't be a whole bunch of lemons that have to be returned. And let me take us away from being too much fanboy, Bill. My advice, to somebody is if you are interested in this drone. Okay, the Mini 3 is $419. So that's only $120 away. However, you got your $299 to buy this drone, whether you worked it or birthday gift, just go back and just work another month or two, put $5 or $10 away, get that extra $120 and get the Mini 3.
So why is that important, Ron? I'll tell you. I'm just going to answer right now. Is that you get a better camera with much better camera. You get more flight time. You get the ability to use the
even on the standard battery, you get more flight time.
Yeah, exactly. You get the ability to use the DJI RC controller, and also for some people, shooting that vertical video is important. Maybe not for me, but I acknowledge that there are people out there that like that.
You don't get, of course, obstacle avoidance on the Mini 3, but you do get more of the intelligent flight features, I believe.
Yeah, you do. So what you don't get, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Bill.
No, go ahead.
Well, is DJI never puts any of the focus track features or any kind of tracking of any kind on a drone or master shots on a drone that does not have obstacle avoidance. So those are things you don't get.
Yeah. So if you need that, if you need the tracking, you better look at the Femi or something instead. But Bill, I just want to take us away from being too fanboy in this drone. There are other options that aren't that much more money, and they're probably worth the upgrade to that.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the Mini 3, Ron, because I think and you did some real good math right there. And it really is, I think if you're starting out in this wonderful hobby of ours, all right, you should explore these options. All right. And if you're smart enough, like I've said, that you're going to avoid the totally budget drones. Okay. and look at a drone that's reliable.
You're already one step ahead. You avoided all the holy stones and stuff of the world.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Exactly.
Let me throw one more facet out there, because there are people that fly a drone that they're not that concerned about getting the best video or the best camera quality or whatever. They're out there flying around in the park. So a drone like some of the others we were talking about, they do have some of those features they like. You can get tracking on a Potensic Atom or on a Fimi Mini. You can get waypoints on both of those drones. I can't imagine preferring to have those features rather than a solid camera and a solid connection with your drone. But some people, it's really important. So that's legitimate as far as I'm concerned. That's a legitimate purchase for somebody if that's what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, and one of the other things that I think we're trying to do, and I really want to get this out there, is to level set people's expectations. All right. And Ron said it so well. Okay. Because whenever DJI puts one of these out here, okay, it comes, get your earplugs in, because you're going to, it's going to, and put your waders on, because it's going to get real deep. All right. And you're going to hear a lot of stuff. And I've heard, I hear more stuff, okay, on like a mini release than I do on everything else. Okay. It's crazy. It's like an Air, when the Air 3 came out, when the Mini 3 Pro came out, when, even the Mini, even the Mini 4K, Mini 4 Pro comes out. Okay. These are, I'm going to say, above them, because most of them are about $1,000 and up kind of a price point. It's these drones that are under $1,000 that you really start getting a lot of kickback and a lot of feedback, especially, like the Mini 2, the Mini 3, that kind of thing, the Mini 4, the non-pro version. Okay. You start getting a lot of feedback on this, and people are real, they want everything for $299. Okay. And you're not going to get everything for $299. It's just not going to happen. Okay. And you want to do it smart. Okay. You want to be smart about this. All right. And I would say this: if you're a first time buyer and you're considering like this new Mini 4K, okay, get it from Amazon. Well, right now that's about the only place that you can. If you were considering Best Buy, get it from Amazon, because they have a very liberal return policy. Okay,
better than DJI's,
much better than DJI, even better than Best Buy. It's something, and it's a seamless process to return things from Amazon.
Yeah. And Bill, you mentioned the people that want everything for $299. They're the poor folk that get tempted by the dark side of the second tier drones that promise everything for $299, but then when you get it, a lot of those features don't work 100%.
Or their specs. Their spec sheet always looks awesome.
But the reality, the perfect example is that when the Hubsan Mini Pro came out, they had one of the best spec sheets of all time.
Yeah.
On paper, that was the greatest mini drone ever made.
Yeah.
Until you flew it, right, Marcus?
Yeah. Or if you could get it off the ground to begin with.
Okay. I'm gonna throw this out here, okay? Because the talk has already started, and I've seen it in some of the forums. And I wanted to get your guys' take on it. All right. Okay. It's time to, we've had this soft release or whatever, the Mini 4K. All right. Everybody, what's next? All right. And of course, there's going to be no Air 3S, guys. Okay.
They're chatting about the Air 3S, Bill.
Oh, I know. But, from what we're seeing and hearing, okay, Air 3S probably not going to happen. All right. They'll go to an Air 4. I'm almost sure of something like that. Okay. Mini 4 or Mavic 4 Pro, Mavic 4. Could that be happening this year? Who knows? Okay.
Bill, there was a rumor, Marcus, that that well, I won't even mention, but that video that we were secretly sent Marcus, that guy even mentioned a full frame camera for the Mavic 4.
Yeah, well, that'd be something, wouldn't it? Can you imagine the size of that gimbal?
What would be something? Something would be the sale price.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah, that could be a $5,000 drone for a base model.
which at that point, how bad do you really need it? I'm a drone enthusiast, but if you start having to, that's even a bridge too far for me. I think.
Can you imagine your computer when you fed it that full frame,
Right.
like 8K video, whatever?
Yeah, it would be tough. That almost gets out of the enthusiast realm and into the professional realm.
You're right,
Maybe
Marcus.
that's where they're heading with the Mavic, and that's fine. If that's DJI's, they might be trying to make the Mavic into more of a professional product.
And Bill, I agree with you. There is no Air 3S, but the video, I'll send you the video, Bill. The video Marcus and I saw, that guy indicated that the Air 3S would have dual 1-inch sensors, not only for the main camera, but also for the 3X tele.
That's just somebody spitting in the wind.
I mean, again, that's why I don't talk about too much. But that the guy had this real fancy looking video and it had no meat to it.
Oh, well, all it was DJI stock video that he replayed. That's all it was.
Yeah. And he did a voiceover saying all this
DJI
stuff.
B-roll.
Proof.
Yeah. I know that video because I got the link for that. I did see. I know what you guys are talking about. So yeah. So and I like what Mad Prop says. Nothing till fall, please, DJI. My pocket saying no moss, no moss.
Well, I'll bet what we do see is they've kind of established this pattern of a new mini drone every fall. Whether that holds true or not, who knows? But I would be willing to bet we see a Mini 5 at the end.
I mean, the only time we didn't see a Mini in the fall was they skipped kind of a cycle and put the Mini 3S out in the spring, but that's the only time the Mini did not get released in the fall time frame.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would suspect the only drone, Bill, I think you can count on year in year out release is the Mini series. Just like Apple, you don't get a new laptop every year, or a new iMac, or even the new iPad, but you get a new iPhone every year.
Yeah, and you can count on it's like in August, Samsung comes out with their phone. In September, Apple comes out with their new iPhone, and
clockwork.
And then they'll and now Samsung comes out with two. They'll come out with their S22 or S23 or 24, and they'll come out with their new Z Fold, which is the phone that Valerie and I have. And we're, okay, we are on. This is a Z Fold 3. They're going to come out with a Z Fold 6. And I told my wife, I said, you know what? There is no way. How can they improve this? Okay, because the big kicker, the big Achilles heel was in the middle, the screen.
Right.
That's. You can kind of see that right there, but when you start using it, you don't see it. Okay.
Right.
And there's really no difference, maybe processor, chipset, that maybe a little more storage, but really, and it's the same with iPhones too.
Yeah. It's just, incremental upgrades.
Incremental upgrades. These are not really significant upgrades.
But if you haven't purchased it in a few years, then it's a big upgrade. Hey, Bill, but I'm going to throw this back at you. The Mini 4 Pro, the greatest mini drone ever by a long shot. How can DJI improve the Mini 4 Pro in just 1 year?
Wow. That's Ron. That's the $60,000 question. You nailed it, because I can't tell you, I just had it out this weekend. All right. And I think I shared with you guys on Monday. All right. It was a really windy day when I flew this weekend. I mean, it was real windy. All right. And that Mini 4 Pro in the wind. Now I was like 25, 30 mile an hour winds. All right. And I did master shots with that. Okay. You should have seen that thing. That gimbal was rock steady. All right. And then it showed on my B-roll, you can see when it's getting ready to land, it's doing one of these all over the place.
Yeah.
If you look at that gimbal, that footage is just smooth as butter. Okay.
Like no one at all. Yeah.
Not one thing. And
Marcus, like you used to say, that drone punches above his weight as far as wind performance.
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
Well, not just the wind performance. I'm going to go you one better, Bill. The features that they pack into that mini drone, it's just stunning. I mean, what doesn't it have? It's got waypoints. It's got that cruise control. It's got the enhanced tracking. What do they call the new tracking where it will choose.
Yeah, 360 tracking.
Well, yeah, 360 tracking, but it
got a better name than that.
Yeah. It is,
and Bill, what again? The Mini 4 Pro, okay, they have to keep it small. They can't put a 1-inch sensor in there. They can't put dual cameras on there.
Mm-hmm.
So what work can they do to the camera at this rate or whatever and keep it under 250 grams?
A mechanical telephoto lens.
What about weight issues?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know.
You say that for the Mavic 4.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think the only real thing that I'm thinking of, because I think of the feature set of the Mini 4 Pro and everything that it has, not only hardware wise but software wise. They may be able to improve the battery technology a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it has
it's the optical right now, Bill.
Yeah, Marcus, but Bill can't get by with only that 51 minutes of flight time.
Bill needs more flight time than that.
Yeah, Bill's got stuff to do. He can't get by with a paltry.
Well, I want to figure out a way to piggyback another battery on top of it and wire it in there, so I can be up there for like an hour and a half. Do one of those kind of things.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, okay. Ron really nailed this here. Okay. What can they really do to a Mini 4 Pro to make it better?
Well, I got one thing, but it's kind of minor. Get rid of those props and put the standard DJI props on, where you just twist them on rather than those little screw-on things.
Okay, Ron. Now you're talking.
Now I'm thinking.
Frank, if you're listening, okay, please note that down for the Mini 5 Pro.
Hey, can you imagine the new Mini 5 Pro comes out and the only upgrade is the props?
Yeah,
we're paying $150 more for it.
We're talking about all this stuff right now, and it's all fun and everything. But I'm just looking at this little drone right here for $299, and it is so fun to fly. And I always just have a big grin on my face. And I haven't flown this one yet, but like the Mini 2 or the other minis, they're still just a blast to fly. So we're talking about all those cool features, and they're great. But you know what? This thing is still.
But you know what? Billy made a good point in his video. Billy Kyle, I'm referring to. That drone, Marcus has his hand there, flies just like the Mini 3, the Mini 4, the Air 3, whatever. Marcus, you say it's fun to fly, and it is. But okay, say I put a pair of blinders in, and I took the drone off and flew it to where you really couldn't see it that well, and they hand you the controller and ask you what drone were you flying, what DJI drone are you flying right now, and you can't actually see detail and know what it is. You wouldn't know you were flying a 4K or any other drones, and that's the beauty of DJI. You don't really have to start with a beginner drone, because the beginner drones fly just like the more advanced drones.
I absolutely agree.
Obstacle avoidance aside or whatever.
Is that a DJI drone, Bill?
Nope, that's a Specta Mini right here.
Yeah.
Now, what was the flight characteristics? Were they similar to another drone company we know?
It would be very similar. Okay, very similar.
So, Bill, I'm glad you pulled that thing out and brought it up. Because it makes me wonder now, what niche is Cojito going to fill with that drone? Why would you buy that instead of this?
Well, the only thing I'm thinking of, okay, and I led the show off. I sent an email to my contact with them, because I was told, I really thought when the Mini 4K came out that they were going to say, go ahead and cut your video loose, Bill, because, and this is why, and this is going to answer your question directly, because of their price, because they were going to cut it, say maybe $250 for this with 4K,
If it's the same drone for $250, they got something. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's enough of a discount that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
they'll get people there, and part of that email, because I've gotten a number of comments. I've seen that. Okay. I asked them about service. Okay. Where can I get my Specta Air, Specta Mini serviced at? And number two, about warranty work. If I need to get warranty work done, where can I do that? Will a DJI authorized dealer, would it be covered under that? I'm being I want to get answers back from him. And also the accessories. Okay. Now I do know that, for example, for the Specta Air, those props are the same as the DJI Air 3 props. Okay, the battery is different. All right. Now, what's nice and what I'm pretty sure from what I remember when I talked to Jack is like the charger, that charging platform for the Air 3 and, you know, the charger and everything, it'll all work with that. Okay. It's just the software and the battery is not compatible with, you know, cross platforms. All right. That's just not going to happen. And the price on the battery is going to be the same. So I pushed them again, find out when are these accessories going to be available, and also too, when's this going to be available too? Because I'll tell you what, if they price this right, okay, they're gonna sweep right in under, and they have that service, and I think that's an important point too, because I know a lot of people have been asking me about service for Specta drones. You know, where is that going to come from? How's that going to get handled? Because, you know, if the bottom should fall out with DJI, God forbid, all right, we have an alternative here, all right, because these are made in Malaysia. So,
right,
we'll see.
We'll see.
Until Stefanik figures out they're trying to do a runaround and bans Malaysian drones too.
Yeah. So, but you know what? And what's real interesting, you know, I've signed up for alerts on, you know, on CCP Drone Act and things like that, and I get daily articles that are pushed my way. And they're all the same articles, okay? They just keep regurgitating them out there. All the news sources, MSNBC, CNN, Fox, everybody. They're regurgitating the same stuff over and over and over again. There's nothing new on this, all right? And I personally, what I think is going to happen, I think this is just going to stall. I don't really think it's going to go anywhere, all right? Even in an election year, I think this is going to stall. And I think, you know, like you pointed out, I think, I don't know if it was Ron or you, Marcus, pointed out that Bob Dempsey said he talked to a congresswoman and said that it really is a national security kind of a thing and it's top secret and they can't share it. All right. Well, you know, if it's so top secret and it's such a national security thing, like it was with Huawei, I mean, Huawei got pulled before you could, you know, bat an eyelash. Okay. So why aren't DJI drones pulled if it's such a incredible national security risk?
And why did DJIs keep getting approved by the FCC? Here another one hits just you know, whatever last week before when this got approved. DJI at the FCC, they must not be getting the cliff notes from Congress because they're approving DJI devices right and left, Bill.
Yeah. So, you know, we'll see.
I'm going to go on record and say there's going to be no DJI drone ban this year.
Yeah, I agree with Ron. I don't think it's not going to happen.
I think we're fine. Yeah.
So, okay, guys, any closing thoughts here for tonight?
I'm looking forward to Marcus's full unboxing and review video for the DJI 4K drone. Hopefully, though, pray that the wind gods in Idaho go down tonight and he can get out there bright and early tomorrow and put this bird through his paces, get it up in the air and put it through his paces. Yeah, the Ron 4K.
The Ron Mini 4K. I am excited. You know, I'm not kidding one bit. I am almost as excited to fly this little drone as I am the Avata 2 or any of that.
I thought you were going to say the Air 3S.
Well, yeah, or even the. I'm just saying, new drones always get me excited, and it's going to be fun to get this guy. I just want to see what it'll do. Right, check the video quality. Is it any different than the Mini 2? Right. Well, you know, as far as I know, it's probably going to fly the same, etc. But I want to check out is the video quality incrementally better? All those things. So it's going to be fun to mess around with.
Yeah.
I got to say,
that's a great name.
You know, with this guy, I had a lot of fun taking this out. Okay. And, you know, everything about this will tell you what kind of, you know, who has been licensed off of and who Specta has done it. And, you know, this is my first taste of a Specta mini drone. All right. And incredibly impressed with it. You know, my review's coming out, you know, I'm giving you guys a little bit of a glimpse into it, but, it did everything exactly like this company with 3 letters does. Okay. Their drones. I mean, there is just no real appreciable difference, which is what you want to hear. And I'm hoping this appreciable difference is that when this gets released and available on Amazon, that you'll see it at a much lower price point than like the Mini 4K. Because if that's the case, then, and they provide support for this, it's literally Amazon's going to be fulfilling a lot of orders on that. I can tell you that right now. I'm excited for them. I'm excited for Specta, and hopefully, you know, they can get that website up and going with accessories on it and have options to be able to get things taken care of. And, you know, and the other thing that I want to say, you know, the other big question that I got, and I'm kind of wrapping things up here, you know, a lot of people are saying, well, it doesn't have care refresh. Okay. And let me tell you this, guys. All right. I love care refresh. I thought, you know, I think it's a great thing, but I'll tell you what, you know, it's even better for me, my State Farm personal articles policy, because you know what? I don't have to produce a drone to them. All right. If my drone goes out into the bay out there or hits into a tree or whatever, all I got to do is call my, you know, contact person up at the agency, you know, tell them what it is, show them the serial number, you know, on it, and boom, I got a check coming to me.
On a $250 drone, though, why would you even? I didn't get care refresh on this little Mini 4K because
no.
You know,
for that, you know, no, but you know, my drones up above, you know, like my Air 3S, my Mini 4K, your Mini 3 Pro, you know, all of those, yeah, absolutely, I do all that, okay, and you know, I have a peace of mind with that, even though I did get care refresh with my Mini 3 Pro, because this time, you know, the contact person who I have is on vacation for a couple weeks and has been slow in getting this submitted and everything. And I still want to fly things. So I'm like, you know what? At least I have that kind of coverage on it. So I'm okay.
Will State Farm cover the FEMI drones?
Yeah, they'll cover.
Well, they may lose some money then.
They may be losing some money there. Yeah, that's, what can I say? What can I say? Guys, it's been a great show. Absolutely fantastic. If you get a chance, watch the release show for Monday. We had a great time. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, guys, it's a great day to fly. Take care. Have a great rest of your week.
See ya.
Go, Ron.